I turned to compulsive sexual behavior not to have a good time having sex, but to escape a really difficult emotional life. So it's. I think addictions often have a secondary gain, if you will, which is other people drink to be social. An alcoholic drinks just to feel okay. That's a
Right.
big difference.
And so you are an expert on sex and intimacy disorders, and you've been in it for many, many years. And what specific incident inspired you to be so passionate about sex addiction and intimacy disorders?
Well, I think, Tim, anybody who knows me knows I'm passionate about anything that I get involved with. That's maybe part of being an addict is I'm very driven and very focused and used to be on the bad stuff. Now it's on the good stuff. Um, I take, um, I went through my own recovery in sex addiction. I am still a recovering sex addict. I entered the program in 1985, December 10th. And
Right.
then related to that, I went and got my license in 95 or early 90s. So that's when I got started. And actually, what made me enter the field, to be honest with you, was HIV/AIDS, because I had, in my addiction, had sex with enough people to populate China, um, but I didn't get HIV/AIDS during the period when everyone else was. And I thought, we have a bit of a spiritual awakening, like maybe I'm here for some reason. And I knew there were people who were getting caught up in sexual behavior because of addiction that was ending up with them dying of HIV/AIDS. So I really wanted to help them because I had been able to stop my behavior and I wanted to help other people stop theirs. That's how I got here.
Wh- And why do you think you were able to stop?
I think that any person who wants to stop an addiction doesn't stop because they want to not do what they're doing. I wanted to stop because there was something I wanted more. And I think that's, on one side, we say the pain of addiction. When the pain of addiction is worse than the pain of recovery, you recover. But I think for me also, it was like when I can see people getting things that I would really like to have that are healthy in life and I can't get them because of my addiction, then that maybe address it. And what I wanted was a loving, healthy, committed home and relationship. And I wasn't going to have that as an active sex addict.
You know that brings up a good point, which is, in my experience, is people that are focused on stopping. Like, if you're focused on stopping the drinking, stopping the drugs, stopping the sexual compulsivity, stopping, if you're focused on stopping, it doesn't work. But if you're focused on the new life and what you want, that's when it works.
Well, I think it's the same for recovery. In the early stages, I don't tell people it's really recovery is not about what you don't do. I mean, it's good to not drink, it's good to not use, good to not gamble, depending on your addiction. But recovery is much more about what you do do. Where do you take yourself? What do you do to get support? How do you engage with other people? This is what recovery, and how do you enjoy your life? I mean, I think that is what recovery is about. I don't want to recover just to, sit at home and bake bread. Although bread is good, but I want to do other things. Maybe I do
I,
want to bake bread. I'm not sure about that.
yeah, well, it's living the life of your dreams, right? It's like, and a lot of people, and I mean, I was one of them, I couldn't imagine living life and having fun, not drinking and doing drugs and not acting out. And I've learned, and I know that you've learned it as well, like life is amazing on the other side of it once you get past it.
In a different way. I mean, life is amazing in a drip, drip, drip of good things and a drip, drip, drip of bad things. And I liked having everything all at once when I was an addict. I wanted it all to
Right.
be amazing. And I think what a friend of mine said is that a life well lived in recovery is just one notch above boring. And I think that's right. That's how life should be. A few highs, a few lows, but generally kind of stable and consistent. And that's not how I lived as an addict at all.
Right. To get a free copy of the 12-step guide that I created for you, click on the link in the description below. What is the definition of sex addiction?
Well, I think the definition applies to any addiction, which is a behavior that I'm engaging in with or without a substance that is significantly affecting the functioning of my life. And yet, despite the fact that it is hurting my family, my work, whatever it is that it's destroying my health, I continue to do it and I continue to obsess about it. Most people make a mistake and they learn and they don't do something again. Addicts make mistakes and we think, well, that felt good. I won't look at the bad part. I'll just do the good part over and over and over again. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, their families fail, their marriages fail, their educate. That's addiction. Is your life fails as a result of it, in my mind.
Right. Now there's so there's sex addiction and
Oh,
there's
right.
love.
But so in sex addiction, what I see is people losing their relationships. Especially marriages in particular. I see a lot of marriages get destroyed. I see people looking at porn in the workplace, they get fired. I see people, caught up in prostitution stings. And so when sexual behavior or a relationship with porn is causing significantly negative problems in life, and the behavior doesn't change, it's an addiction like any other addiction.
Right. And there's a lot of people out there that they look at porn. It's like, what's the problem with looking at porn?
Is that a question?
That's a
I
question.
don't think it's a problem. I think lots of people look at porn. I don't have a problem with people drinking. I think having a
Right.
glass of wine or even getting drunk on New Year's is fine. It's just if you have certain emotional vulnerabilities, then you're not going to be able to do casual, pleasurable things in the same way as healthy people. Addicts grab onto to intensely arousing, distracting, and stimulating behaviors for different reasons than healthy people do. I turn to
Right.
compulsive sexual behavior not to have a good time having sex, but to escape a really difficult emotional life.
Right.
So it's I think addictions often have a secondary gain, if you will, which is other people drink to be social. An alcoholic drinks just to feel okay. That's a
Right.
big difference.
If you got value from this video, if you heard what you needed to hear, be sure to like it. Comment if you've got a question or you have something to say. Subscribe to the channel. Camelback Recovery provides treatment services for people struggling with mental health, mental illness, addiction, alcoholism, whatever it may be. So if you or a loved one is struggling and you need some guidance and you need some direction, reach out to us. Our contact information is down below, or you can go to our website, camelbackrecovery.com, whether it be detox, inpatient treatment, outpatient treatment, sober living, recovery coaching, sober companion services, whatever it may be. Like I said, we can either help you or make sure that you get sent in the right direction. We help people all over the country, all over the world for that matter. I'll see you on the next video.